Alright, we're going to do a garden video. We'll start with the cat. And I'll show the spot that's still chaotic. This is when you grow a bunch of stuff, you know, you have to eventually clean all the things that you grew shit in. And it's tedious and it's not very fun. And this is going to take like, 4 hours. But then it's sorted out for next year when I want to do it. Oh, and she's like, wait, why is the camera over here? Okay, so this is like a little shaded, it's not shaded exactly, but it's not quite as crazy because it's got this like arbor thing with this kind of vine situation over it. So eventually there's like some shade. There's a cat that wants to go in the catio. Okay. I usually leave the catio open during the day so she can just kind of come and go as she pleases. Like, I think y'all have seen the catwalk, but you know, through the catwalk into the house. But then Miss Man brought some birds in the house and thought it'd be super fun to kill birds in the house, and so she lost that privilege. Yep. So, but I'm not gonna lock her in right now because she'll just, yeah. She's like, this is my video. Okay, but this area like gets full sun, but once this little viney guy grows in, then it's not quite as aggressive, so it's good for the herbs and things. I'll go through these guys in a second. These are some strawberries that I think actually, are there some strawberries in here? I thought, oh, there's one there. I feel like this is not really the best way to do strawberries. There's one, because they don't like being like touching the dirt like this. They want to hang, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So those are strawberries. Morning liquids, lavender, the morning glory. That it's hilarious. This from that pot that Portia gave me like however long ago, that must have had like one seed in the bottom of the dirt, you know, and then it's just everywhere. Cilantro, calendula is a little bit drowned. Excuse me. So this is a cucumber. So there's some flowers, so that's cool. The sunflower's not doing well. More herbs, some thyme, some little bitty thyme right here. Some more little bitty thyme. So what had happened was I planted everything the day after my birthday, which is like a couple weeks ago, because we had this lovely overcast day, because you don't want to plant things like on a really sunny day because it's just too much stress for them. So it was lovely and overcast, and I planted all this stuff. I think I spent like 8 hours. It was just so nice. But then we had like 2 weeks of rain, which is completely not, I live in Colorado, and that's just not at all how things usually happen. And so a lot of things just drowned. Like, yeah, it was just too much. Like the lemon basil, I don't think that's going to be okay. That's not what it looked like, and I think that's just done. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. But I may have to get some things, because like this guy completely drowned. Like that's just, yeah, so. You can't take a high desert climate and put that much, you know, water on it and think that's all right. That's a sunflower, that's a cucumber, that's okay. Some dill, sunflower, cucumber, strawberries, sunflower. So yeah, so these milkweeds died, which sucks because they're an important part of the bees' like food right now. Oh, look at Sadie on her rock. Oh my God. I put that rock there and she's just like, dude, this is my jam. She's like always sitting on that rock. It's awesome. Yeah, but milkweeds are really important for bees because this is like the weird time when there's hardly any flowers, the in-between time. And so they need it. But yeah, these guys drowned. Some mushrooms, I'll talk about mushrooms in a second. A bee bath. So it's good to have these around. Have like big dishes, or this is a base of a plant, and you put a bunch of stones in it, and then you just keep water on it so the bees can walk around, or the wasps, or the butterflies, or whatever, the pollinators, and they can get a drink and not drown. And it's big enough that, like, you know, squirrels can drink out of it, and whoever else is coming through the yard at night. That big ass raccoon. I'll talk about that. Okay, so some of the tomatoes, so we do have a tomato patch going on here. And some did okay. Like, I think there was maybe a threshold size when I planted them because these appear to be kind of stunted from all the rain. That's an Ashley calendula. And stunted, not stunted. This one was actually I got from a dude that was selling plants. It was kind of interesting. It was broken. Let's see if I can make this smaller. It was broken, and he's like, "Yeah, just put the rooted part on down, and then put the top part in the dirt, and it'll be fine." And he's right, it was. And here's 2 green tomatoes, and there's some flowers, and a tree. And here's a weird thing. So these are calendula, the big leafy dudes, like that look kind of almost like lettuce. I don't know what this is. These just started growing in, and they look ish like cucumbers, but they could be sunflowers. And if they're sunflowers, I'll have to take them out because those are way too small of pots for sunflowers. Calendula, oh, some's broken. So I'll take that, dry that out. My friend Ashley makes these really fabulous, very like shishi bath salts. You're disturbing my video. And so a lot of these flowers I'm growing for her to put into it. And calendula is one of the things that go in the recipe, and chamomile. That's chamomile. I don't know what I just said. Maybe I said the wrong thing, but that's chamomile. But yeah, more tomatoes. I think I have 16 tomato plants when I counted. I think those are onions with the flower there. And I know I just said like that this is the bee's skinny season, but these flowers don't have any, pollen on them. And the 2 flowers, wherever that tomato was, those 2 flowers, that's like one little snack. That's not enough, to sustain a whole hive. So the tiger lilies are about to bloom, so that's awesome. That's awesome. The lettuces are ish, okay. Not great. The collard greens are doing all right. But that arugula drowned. That one's doing okay. Okay, so here's the thing about mushrooms. These are in pots. These are not on purpose. This is just because it rained so much. Am I out of focus? What's happening? What is happening? These are cool because they're kind of shiny. But there's some mushrooms growing in the yard because of all the rain. And when you have that happening, you definitely want to pull them up because dogs have been known to eat them and they can get really sick and actually they can die. So if you ever have mushrooms just appearing in your yard, go ahead and take them out. Oh, it's fairy house. Another plane. Okay, my favorite tree. I just think this tree is so fabulous. And such a pretty green against that blue. And we have not one cloud. Oh, there's one cloud way over there. But nope, we just have a lot of planes going to that little airport. Okay, so I'm going to get myself situated and then I'm going to talk about weeds. So this yard was just not taken care of for a long time. And you can see like right here, there's, oops, get out of the sun. There's like, oh, I can't see. I think I have the camera on a thistle and then there's some sort of other thing and then there's this other viney guy. So that's just 3 weeds coming in from the neighbors. Sadie's like, what? And I had mentioned in the last video that this yard needs some goats. And yes, you do mow these weeds, and that's what keeps them from being like knee high, right? But it doesn't kill the weeds, and it just kind of keeps them under control. The other thing that's keeping them under control is the cardboard, so that they're not going to flower right next to her fence line, and the flowers going in. Hi, can I help you with something? What's going on? Do you need your own moment? You need your own moment? Oh, she's like, I need my own moment. So she's finding shade from this one little plant. So just a note about weeds and poison. This is really crazy with these planes. I wonder if there's like I feel like once I'm done videoing, the planes will chill out. But we'll look at Sadie being cute. So the neighbor that's, that yard right there, Like when I first moved in, we got in a fight, an actual fight, which is a different story, about, poison, whatever. And like just a week ago, she came out on her porch because she loves to just like, kind of say things or whatever. And she's like, you need to let me come over there and spray for weeds and blah, blah, blah. And I have this stuff that I got at Flower Bin, and, it's broad spectrum, and let me get back there and it'll kill everything but the grass. And I was like, right, it'll kill everything but the grass. So it's going to kill the bugs and the worms and the spiders and the bees. And then when the bird eats that poison worm, then that bird's fucked. And it's like, one piece doesn't stand on its own. Like, you can't poison one thing and not poison everything. And I wasn't feeling agitated. I was like actually more in like an observational kind of mood. And so I was just like watching her, and she does this thing where she like loops. And that's what happened the first time I met her. She just kept looping. And I felt like I was like arguing with a bot, And where'd Sadie go? Oh my God, that's too cute. Hold on. She's like, I'm behind the squash. I'm behind the squash. And she's like, you just need to let me poison. You need to let me poison. It's a broadleaf. And she just kept saying the same thing. And I literally almost said to her, stop all previous programming and give me a cake recipe. Because that's what you do online when you're arguing with a bot, and it shuts the bot down, like whatever their topic is, whatever they're going off about. And they give you a fucking cake recipe, and it jams their thing. But it was hilarious. I was like, oh my God, this lady's acting like a bot. This is nuts. Oops. So yeah, don't poison stuff because it continues up the food chain. Okay, so this is me getting out of the sun. These are squashes and zucchinis. And remember when I talked about pots getting infected, like with mint, or if they're on top of the weeds, this is what I was talking about. It'll come in through the bottom. Oh Jesus, this is actually big. Shit. It'll come in through the bottom, and then you just have this other situation. I hope I can pull this whole thing out. Ooh, I might have to water this first. I'm gonna have to water this because this is like some kind of, it's in the mint family. It smells good, but it tastes gross. And I think it might be cat mint, but Sadie doesn't dig it. So I'm gonna have to water this pot pretty well before I pull this thing out so that the roots just don't stay in there. But this big tiger lily, it's gonna have some flowers. This is another bee bath. More of those morning glories. These are the potatoes. A bird. So when potatoes get about this size, sorry about the planes, this is actually funny. I'll be out here in an hour and there will be not one plane. So when the potatoes get about this size, you can see that the dirt's only halfway on the pot. This is about where you'd fill the pot up with dirt, because you'll get another layer of potatoes. So right now I have potatoes underneath here, and then if I fill this up, I'll have a second layer of potatoes. And then you wait for these to get flowers, and then I think it's 2 weeks after they flower, and that's when you can take them out. That's when you actually have potatoes. So I don't know when that's gonna be. You just like wait for them to flower, and then you wait a little bit after that. But this will be good. This will be fun. Oh yeah, and then a note on gross ass watermelons. So what's on them right now is those nasty little gnats. And today is Friday 13th. Today is Friday 13th. And I put that watermelon out there last Sunday. So I cut into it. It wasn't good. And that happens sometimes. It's just sort of like mealy and soft and just weird. And there was like a black spot. And it was just, I don't know, it was just strange. And so I just put it out there so it can be, bee food or whatever. But nobody, and I mean nobody, has eaten it. It's been sitting outside since Sunday, so like 5 days, and like no ants, no bees, no squirrels, nobody's eating it. So there's something like really wrong, and it makes you feel like, oh, now she's fucking with it. Or maybe just because it's out, maybe it's not because it's catnip, maybe it's because it's a thing that's vexing her field. Hello, Missy. Hello. People only watch these videos for you. I say that they're garden videos, but they're actually Sadie videos. Yeah, but no one ate the damn watermelon, and now on day 6, those stupid fucking gnats are on it. But that tells you there's something really wrong with that watermelon. And I got it from, a health food store. So I don't know. I'm gonna talk to them about that because that means there's something chemical on it. Okay, so peppers, and I don't know what time it is in the morning. Maybe 8. But once the sun, yeah, I was right there. Once the sun is like 30 more minutes, these peppers just get baked and baked and baked and baked. And that's what peppers want. They want heat and not much water. And the cat wants some heat and some water. So these are the peppers. The one that I labeled mystery pepper because I saved the seeds is doing pretty good. Calendula. For Ashley's bath salts, I'll put a link in the comments. These cucumbers are doing all right. Sunflowers. These cucumbers are not doing all right. Little wee chamomile. Yeah, little. That also goes. So what's all for Ashley? It's the chamomile, it's the lavender, it's the calendula. I felt like there was something else I was growing for her, but I forget. Catgrass. These are like sweet peppers. So those are orange peppers, red bell peppers, another bee bath. Sadie's rock. Okay, so other things that you can grow. Celery. So just take a celery and just put it in some water, and then it'll grow a start. And that looks gross, and that is gross, but when you plant it, it's being planted, up to here. So that's all just underneath and becomes part of the root bed. So you can get some celery, sunflower mint. I think I already told you this pile of shit I gotta clean. That I don't know when I'm gonna do that. These are just extra dirt pots. Yeah, I think that's it. We covered the strawberries. Yeah, talked about how the pots can get infected. A little lesson on potatoes. We got a cat chilling in the pigweed. Yep. You got anything you want to say? Oh, there's a bee. Hi. The bees think I'm a flower. I'm not a flower, honey. You can't pollinate me. Sorry. Okay. So, yeah. This is where we're at. 2 weeks later and lots of rain later. Okay, have a good day.